Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hello, Michael Cavalier. Welcome. I was reading a book by Fareed Zakaria from the CNN. He wrote a book named Age of Revolutions, and it's a long title, but he's actually reviewing what has happened in our world, from 1600 to now. And he was talking about uh, what is expected in the next few years. Uncertainty. You see, uncertainty is no longer an exception, it is the norm. With geopolitical unrest to technological disruption with the AI, all young people anywhere, they're going to step into a world more fluid and unpredictable than ever before. And that is true. Even the elderly people are feeling that. But as a physician and a wellness guide who have walked down the both corridors of modern medicine and the contemplative halls of ancient wisdom, I say this: let the times be uncertain, but let us be certain in ourselves. Let the times be uncertain, but let us be certain in ourselves. So, Zachariah speaks of three revolutions: political, industrial, and technological, right? So, each a wave of immense progress accompanied by inevitable backlash. In every era, just as humanity leaps forward, it also looks backward in fear, unsure of how to belong or adapt the new change. See, we will not control the wave, but we can learn to surf it with awareness. So I'm going to bring in a couple of pointers that make sense to me. One is by Jiddu Krishnamurti, another by Ramana Maharshi. Jiddu Krishnamurti said it's actually his is a flame of observation. His choiceless awareness is like that. Krishnamurti talked one time, he said, the change is the only certain thing in life. That's true, right? You can be assured things will change. Okay. So, uh, Krishnamurti said this not to frighten us, but he said it to free us, to invite us to see clearly without illusion and to live intelligently amidst impermanence, not by clinging to fixed beliefs, but by staying awake to what is. So, in a time where youth are seeking some anchors, we must show them not a rigid structure, but the agility of clarity. That change is not chance, it is creation, right? That uncertainty is not an enemy, it is an invitation, right? And Ramana Maharshi said, it is about stillness behind the storm. While Krishnamurti awakens the mind, Ramana Maharshi stills the heart. He reminds us you have to have your attention always poised on your inner self. His exact quote was, one's attention has always to be poised on one's inner self, right? So, in the midst of our outer instability, Ramana invites us to go inward, to that which never changes, never trembles, never dies. This is not escapism, this is real anchoring. In clinical medicine, I saw patients who had everything on the outside but trembled with them because they're scared, right? And others terminally ill who radiated peace from a place far deeper than the body or mind. That place is the inner self, right? So that should be our compass, and then for the inner stability. So there are few practices for the moral seeker. This is a compass of practices for the moral seeker, I call. Three tools, okay? I'm going to share with the young professionals, medical students, and entrepreneurs. One is daily stillness, 5 minutes of sitting in pure presence before the day begins, early in the morning. Two is awareness inquiry. Ask gently who is experiencing this fear, who is aware of this anxiety. Let attention turn inward. Then you will find the mind that goes through it, but not your real self. Because anchoring in your real self, you don't have this. And then you got to remind your affirmation. Carry a one-line affirmation like I'm not my thoughts, not my circumstances. I am the witnessing light. That is the affirmation. Why this matters now is we live in a culture that celebrates velocity but forgets direction. In the race for progress, many have lost the map within. That is true. Our youth deserve more than motivational slogans or productivity hacks. They deserve a compass rooted in awareness. Zachariah, he was pointing out to the turbulence, but Krishnamurti lights the torch of insight, and Ramana anchors us in the being. So let us, as modern mentors, offer this sacred ride: awareness, adaptability, and inner anchoring as a living teaching. Okay. So my final thought is, in a world spinning faster than ever, certain certainty won't be found in headlines or markets. It will be found in the quiet certitude of one's inner self. So let us teach that, let's live that, let's be that compass for uncertain times. So this is based on this, I'm going to run a series of weekly classes for the youth and the young entrepreneurs. That way they can understand this inner certainty, inner anchor that is already there. They just have to unveil it, okay, by exploring it, by touching it, by turning your mind inward and reflecting on it. Okay, hopefully this will evolve into a program where I can really develop a course that they can do, and they can also establish themselves in the self, or they can just engage in these practices. I'm going to bring them to my practices in the morning, the you know oasis of wellness, and also morning routine. These are the 2 hours I do from 7 to 9. 7 to 8 is the oasis, and 8 to 9 is the um, morning routine. Okay. Hopefully this makes sense to people who are here. So I'm going to do this kind of room again. um, Melissa, come up. I want to see what you think about this, because you deal with young people. Hopefully you are in a place you can come up and talk. Melissa is a teacher, and that's why this is very appropriate for her to really understand. There she is. Thanks for coming up, Melissa.
Hey, Dr. Rao, how are you?
I am great, Melissa. What do you think about this?
I think that it's wonderful that's something that I am so glad I've gotten the opportunity to try to put into my daily practice, is starting a day, like you were saying, with calm. And that's something I was just sharing with my cousin yesterday. She was telling me she has a friend that's really having a hard time with anxiety, and I told her about your wonderful advice, and I said, one thing that I've learned to do that helps me every single start my day by putting my feet flat on the floor, sitting up straight, and taking breaths. And I told him, I take my deep breaths, I count in with the 8. I remind myself that I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my thoughts. And then I breathe out to the count of 10, and I remind myself that I'm not my body. And it makes such a difference in my day when because I do need that stillness, because as you know, being a teacher, there's a lot of chaos that goes on. Today was field day, and you want to talk about chaos, but you know what? I've learned that chaos, I don't have to let that affect my state of being. I can be Melissa, I can be calm, I can be that sacred space, and I don't have to let that chaos invade my persona. And so I think that what you're saying is just, it sounds very simple, but it's profound when you can embrace that.
No, this Farid Zakaria's book, Age of Revolutions, in that he talked about this upcoming uncertainty. Already people are uncertain, with the political change, with this AI coming over, and also the global threat of the weather. People are really uncertain, and then they're kind of worried about it, a lot of them, especially young people.
You're absolutely right. The change is the only thing that is going to never change. Is that life is always changing, and we have to find the calm within that storm. I heard somebody talk about it the other day, like we're in a storm, and the eye of the storm is where the calm is, and that's where that awareness needs to be. In that eye of the storm.
I kind of be aware of my own reactions, thereby they go down, So I hardly react, more like I respond to everything, So that is a good way to be, because, just emotionally reacting and then working ourselves to the tension is not worth it, So the people are going to do what they have to do, but we can be anchored within our own inner self. And that's the point of it. That is the compass I want to really introduce to people, and then make them realize that it is there. Just have to get into that. So I'm glad you are kind of trying to be in the present in the morning and continue to do that. That's a wonderful thing, So.
Well, it is a very wonderful thing, and I have you to thank for it, Dr. Rao, because you're the one that taught me that strategy. So thank you, my friend, for guiding me. I appreciate your guidance very, very much.
See, this is kind of needed for my son and daughter too, because they are uncertain. They are kind of, not very happy with the changes that are going around them. And I'm into AI, and I see massive changes coming because of the AI, so I just want to be there for them, providing this kind of, perspective where they can have their own inner strength to guide them, so I'm going to present,
Yeah, I know about that. I don't know if I shared with you, Dr. Rao. I have a big change coming up. I'm changing positions, so I'm going to be going to a new school.
Okay.
I'm going to be working with a different position. I mean, I'm still going to be teaching, but it's going to be slightly different than it is now. So, but I'm confident that, like you said, even though it's going to be something new, the change is not something that I can ever escape, because life is constantly changing and evolving, and I'm confident that as life changes and evolves, I will too. So it's like a new chapter in my life that I'm embarking on. But
I think
I'm embracing the change instead of being fearful.
I did a program, Melissa. You are going out, come back. This is something a program I did on how to be responsible to your health and wellness, and how to anchor into that. Check out that, because I was concerned about AI coming in, how people do not know how to use them properly, So, but you can empower yourself, okay? AI, use the AI in your health care journey. That is the title I did. Check that out, okay? that kind of
What's
points
the
out.
title? Tell me the name of the title. Say the
AI,
title again, Dr. Rao.
AI, artificial intelligence, to be used in your healthcare journey. So somebody asked me, he went to the physician and he asked, can I ask AI to give me some questions to ask you? Then the doctor said, no, 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 you can ask me, But then AI gives you comprehensive view of your own healthcare and give you the questions that you should be asking. Thereby, you are empowering yourself to know about your own health and all that. So I encourage people to use that way. Then you will have questions that you can go and ask your doctor, or you can check it out on the online. Then you are more empowered about your healthcare status. You see what I mean? So you also do that. What you do is, what are the conditions I have? What should I be knowing about these conditions? What are the questions I should ask my physician? Then take those questions and go there and talk to him about all that. Then you'll have a good idea about what you have to do, what you should be looking for, what kind of things you should be asking him about when they monitor your health. You see what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, do that before you go to the doctor. Then you'll get a lot of questions that are related to your past history, your medical conditions, your medications, and all that. Okay.
I will do that. Thank you again for your advice, Dr. Rao. As always,
See,
I appreciate everything you share with me.
yeah,
You have
my
a great rest of your day.
yeah, my thing is how to empower you on your own healthcare journey. Okay.
I will take all the empowerment I can get, Dr.
Yeah,
Rao. I
yeah,
appreciate it, my
yeah,
friend.
yeah. Okay, very good. So I just want to make sure that you understood what I was talking about in the talk. But check it out. That talk is there on the Noom Vibe, and you should be able to see that. So that's what I'm going to do in the next few days. Develop programs in the LinkedIn 3 minute programs also that people can come and check it out. So this is the beginning of this kind of talks, because the uncertainty is not going to go away with one day. So I'll keep on coming back and then posing these questions and making people think about them in a constructive way, not to get panicky, not to get fearful, not to get really losing their mind, but more like taking things into your own hand and having that inner compass, inner stability guiding you through the life, so that you're not really fearful or anxious like I'm seeing people now. That's why it kind of resonated with me for Zacharias observation. The uncertainty is going to be there with all these major things going on. I kind of think that this is a service that is needed. That's why I developed this theme, and I'm going to write a LinkedIn article with the same thing, and you can go and check it out, and then you'll be happy to see that article. Okay. Thank you,
I
Melissa.
agree with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rao.
Thank you. Bye bye. So, people like Melissa who are teachers, they will have to play a big role about taking care of their students, and then helping them to be not fearful, not to be anxious, but go ahead with confidence in themselves and in their inner self. Okay, the mind that goes all over, but you are not the mind. You are more than the mind. The life after that gives the animation to the mind and the body. So that's witnessing self, that kind of being is what you are. And once you establish in your inner essence, you can manage your mind, your thoughts, and your fears, your anxieties much better. Okay. So this is kind of allowing the drama of change to unfold, but really, not to be panicked about it, but surf it with awareness. Okay. So you may not be able to control the wave of change, but you can surf it with awareness of who you really are. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say for now, and I will talk to you again. And Anybody else want to come up? You can come up. This is the last chance. Otherwise, I'll see you. I'm happy I talked to Melissa, and then I'll see you guys later. Okay, bye bye.